Hello, I'm back with some books. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vanessa and here we talk about all things I enjoy. It's a wild place, let's say. It's a wild land where we just open up our mind, enjoy all kind of books, cozy things, travel, crafts, and everything that makes us feel good. Yeah. So today I just want to share with you a couple of books, actually a bit more than a couple, but these are the books that made it into my first TBR of 2024, which is very, very exciting. I have already dipped my eyes into a couple of them, but I won't review it today. I just want to show you what my reading list is, which we all know that it will grow exponentially. If you just give me another couple of weeks, there will be probably another 3 books on this. So this is the, let's say, TBR up till today. But yes, let's just dive right in. And just to explain how my reading brain works. So I'm pretty much a mood reader. So whatever my mood is, I will go to my little library and just, I don't know, just treat it like it was just imagine a very good big wine cellar where you have all different genres of book and you just go to the cellar, pick the one that you enjoy and then just read. That's how it works. There we go. So in this reading list, I just got my books down here. I have some thrillers, I have some fiction, I have some fantasy, I have some historical fantasy. We've got a bit for everyone. So enjoy my list. And please, if you have any more suggestions based on what I'm showing right now, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. And yeah, let's just dive right in. So I was thinking we can start with fiction, and these are the only 2 fiction books that I have with me. The first one is actually the one that I'm reading at the moment, which is this. It's called Meredith Alone. It's from Claire Alexander. And this book has actually been on my reading list, basically, on Goodreads for quite a long time. And I was really excited to see it coming out because I feel like it's a very good concept of the kind of books that I enjoy for when I feel like I need some comfort, I need some faith in humanity restored. So I feel like, yeah, this book is very similar to the other one as well that I have right here. This is a genre that I really, really enjoy. So it's a kind of fiction that is still related to psychology and just makes you feel warm, makes you feel like, yeah, as I said before, you have faith in humanity and you just want to feel warm and fuzzy. And this is set in London and it's the story of Meredith. As the book says, she has a best friend, she has a cat, and she has loads of hobbies that she enjoys. She likes cooking and she has loads of delivery people coming to her house anyway, but she hasn't left the house in 1,215 days. Pretty interesting concept if you tell me. And so basically it's a story of this woman who hasn't left the house in such a long time, and we don't really know why. We don't know if it's some sort of, social anxiety or any other kind of issues. But yeah, the reviews are really great. Even on Goodreads, they're very high, which is very interesting for these kind of books. Like I might do a video with book recommendations for very heartwarming books, stories of people sort of finding out about themselves and wanting to get away from a situation that they're not comfortable in. My second one is actually along the side of this one. I would say it's very, very similar, and it's Little Prisons by Ilona, I hope I'm saying it correctly, Ilona Bannister. This book, I've already read it. and it's fantastic. This is a 5 stars for me. It's a story of 3 different women. They're going through very different battles, but they live in the same block of houses. They all have issues. They can't leave the house, or they are trapped in the house, or maybe they can leave the house, but they don't really know what to do with them. And they will eventually meet up throughout the book and help each other to overcome all these obstacles that go from literally not being able to leave the house because you're scared of leaving the house, to being a single mother controlled by her ex-husband, and another woman who's a Jehovah's Witness and she has sacrificed everything for her faith, so she is alone and doesn't have anyone around her. I think this book it was so well written. It's a multi POV, so you never get tired of how the story goes on. It's always engaging, and it always goes back and forth between the story and what's already happened, what is going to happen, what is happening right now. So you never get tired, and this is fantastic. I'm so sad and not many people know about the story, because this is the kind of book that we need right now. It's very, very current, and I am very sad that we don't see this quite often on social medias or videos or recommendations, because this is fantastic. It was a great start of the year, and thank you very much for the friend of mine who recommended this. After fiction, I want to talk about fantasy. So I really like a good fantasy book. It just helps me take my mind off everyday life, and I think it's just a fantastic way to escape. I have 3 books with me, very, very, very different. The first one is The Lonely Castle in the Mirror, and it's a translation from Japanese literature. I am very excited about reading this one. It's the story of 7 young people in a neighborhood in Tokyo, and they basically wake up to find that there's mirrors shining in their bedroom, and once they put their hand on this mirror, they're taken into this fantastic world when they can explore and meet new people. It's a fantastic adventure, and they end up meeting a girl and who they don't really know why she really wants to talk to them. She wants to get to know them, but they will find out many, many things about themselves and about their future. And I think this is the kind of fantasy that is some sort of self-revelation, meeting, growing up, and what it means to grow up, or looking back in your childhood. I don't really know much about this book apart from what's told here at the back, but apparently this is a great book, and it has some fantastic reviews. And I'm not really always into books with children in there, but I know that this is something completely different, and it's going to break your heart at the end. So I really cannot wait to read this one. After this, we have a really interesting book that I've seen on many favorites of the year from 2023. So I thought I might just get one and see if I enjoy it. So it's Slewfoot, and it's a beautiful, beautiful book by an artist. He's called Brom, and he basically wrote the book and also drew all the illustrations in the book. I'm trying to find the page, but these are the kind of illustrations in there. They're absolutely gorgeous, and the entire book, it's basically covered with these illustrations that are very witchy, very horror, and they're terrifying, to be fair. They're really, really terrifying to look at. I'm trying to find another one, and they're all very, very interesting concepts. Like, you see that it looks like you just stepped into one of those old chemists and alchemists shops, and I think this is fascinating. And it's the story of, it's set in colonial New England, and it's a tale of magic and mystery and triumph and terror. And it tells the story of this ancient spirit that awakens in a dark wood, and the colonists call him Slewfoot, demon, devil. And this girl, Abatha, she is an outcast and she is condemned because of witchcraft. She lives in a pagan and Puritan community. But apparently she is not a good character, because I think she will sort of team up with the devil and fall in love with the devil. There's something very interesting about the story, but I really cannot wait to read this. I think this is just beautiful. It's a beautiful piece that you can just keep out if you enjoy this sort of drawing style, which I do. And I cannot wait to read this. I feel like it's going to be something spooky, witchy, and something that I cannot wait to, I don't know, just sit in bed and turn the lights down, enjoy this little bit of spooky time. But yes, I've read great things about this as well. It was in so many people's favorite of the year, and I have very high expectations. The last fantasy book that I have is actually the only hardback that I own, I think. Yeah, it's the only hardback. And it's The Adventures of Amin al-Sarafi. I'm very sorry. This is like a holographic, metallic holographic cover, and it really doesn't want to focus with the light. Oh, there you go. There you go. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I mean, this is fantastic. Even just to keep out, it literally gives me the vibes of the story. And it's the story of this middle-aged pirate woman who travels the seas of this fantastical land. And she goes into plenty of adventures with her crew. She has a sea beast husband who eats human hearts. All right. Okay, slay queen. And she just travels along this land, and let me show you what the illustration of the land is like. I mean, isn't this fantastic? These are the kind of books that I enjoy, and I'm very happy that I buy the hardbacks instead of the normal paperback version. I'm very excited for this one. I read so many great things. I would never go for a pirate story because it's not really my genre, but I read that it's very much a feel-good story, especially when the main character is a woman in her 40s, and it's not, like a coming-of-age story. It's not a someone that you can actually connect to, because it's usually closer to our age, my age in this case. So I'm very excited, and as I said before, this is a great piece that you can just leave on your bookcase, and oh my goodness, I can't wait to leave it out there and read it. I actually have two thrillers. I said one before, but it's actually two thrillers, one of which I've already read, but I don't have it with me because I went to see my family and I left it down there. Oopsie. But it's actually, I'll put it up here, it's called In the Blink of an Eye, and I stands for AI. It's a very, very, very interesting book. So it's basically the story of this little county in England, and they have this new program where they use AI detectives to basically, not to prevent crimes in a Minority Report kind of style, but they basically use them to help them researching people who have disappeared. So they help with cold cases, and I thought it was a very good concept. I'm not going to review it right now, but I think it's a different take on the classic cold case scenario, and it just adds that little bit of spice to the story to keep you more engaged and more willing to go on and see what maybe what the future might be like for a police system. I'm not a policewoman, but It's very interesting though. I will review it very soon, but it's been one of the thriller of the month, I think, in Waterstones, and I just picked it up because I thought it was interesting. But yeah, the only thing is just the pun in the title, In the Blink of an Eye, AI, that I just can't get over puns. I'm not a fan. The second one is it's a very famous book. So little short story. So I really like having walks with my boyfriend in the neighborhood, and we went to our local Waterstones, and I just asked him, look, pick up a book for me because I really crave a new book, but I don't really know what. And I really like when other people do that for me because it sort of shows what they think you might enjoy, and I think it picked the right one. I know this is a very famous story. It's Child 44 by Tom Rob Smith. I know there's an entire film, and there's a lot of things around this book. An actual real life investigation. I mean, it's inspired by a real life investigation, and it's based in Moscow in 1953. And under the totalitarianism in Russia, there's families living in fear, and we have this police officer who spent his entire career arresting anyone who steps out of line, and suddenly his world is turned upside down when he uncovers the evidence of a killer at large. And now his family is involved in this, and many other lives, regarding the difficult time in history that this was set in. I am very excited about reading this one. There was the film that was actually broadcast on the BBC not long ago, and I was like, turn it off, I really need to read the book first. It's a big boy, because it doesn't seem like it, but I think, hang on, but it's 500 pages, so it's a big boy. And I know it's going to be quite intense, so I don't know if this is for everyone, but I was craving something like this, and I feel like he picked the right one. And the last book I have is actually I would call it historical fantasy. And it's, I don't know if you can see because I have it on my Kindle, but it's, let me go out of frame. It's The Wheel of the Many. This book, it's a big boy because I think it's around 700 pages. So, I don't really have that much space in my library, so I had to get the Kindle version of it. It's just easier to take around. This is a book by James Islington, and it's part of I think, trilogy at this point. I'm not really sure. It's book one of the hierarchy trilogy, duology. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be of it. And from what I just read probably like 20% of this book. It's very complicated. I mean, it's very dense in content and very dense in everything regarding the story of this boy who goes to this academy where you basically go up in rank depending how much will you have, and this will shown through this magic that you've got. So there's a lot of power plays, there's a lot of complex magical system regarding also the society of this land where this is set. It's very much inspired by ancient Rome, and I think this is probably one of the things that actually got me into reading this book. I haven't read many especially historical fantasy books in a while, and this sounds really exciting. And from what I read, it's very fast-paced, but again, I feel like you have to be very focused in what it's very detailed, and I think the author has done a great job in this, so I can't wait to read this one as well. I think I'll just read a little bit at a time because it can get a bit much, I think. These were the books in my TBR for probably the next month or so, and I say that, but as I said, there will probably be more books coming in. I always go at least once a week in my Waterstones and just hop in and see what's new, and maybe just get myself a little hogger treat. But yes, I hope you enjoy, and hopefully I gave you some new ideas for the new year. And please keep me updated on books that I should read or things that you would like to see. I'll see you at the end of the week, and I wish you a great one. Bye.